Howdy, Legendary Void here, and yes, I am back. It's been a hot minute since I've uploaded a Transformer video. I've just been super busy with work and a whole bunch of other stuff that's been coming up. Plus it's summer, I'm trying to enjoy my time. I'm gonna keep trying to upload videos as often as I can, but school is coming up, and I'm going to be taking a whole bunch of classes that are gonna be super difficult. So I may not have a lot of time to be making and editing and uploading videos. But I will do my best to try and stay somewhat consistent, like maybe once a week. I know that doesn't sound that great, but it might be the best I can do at a certain point. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and try and go from there. But today I have a fun deck that I've been messing around with recently. I have dubbed it Action Packed, and it consists of none other than the Action Man himself, Thundercracker, who in bot mode has who is a 5/12/1, and whenever you play an action, he gets +1 attack, which makes him the main attacker of the deck, and the main focus. In his alt mode, he's a 4/12/1, and then you can deal 2 damage to a melee character. That's not all that important, but you can mostly focus your deck around this effect right here. And to help boost his ability, we also are running Captain Wheeljack from Wave 3, who in his alt mode is a 5/12/1. But before the game begins, you get to have a brainstorm from your deck and put it directly into your hand. Now this here is definitely a great way to boost Thundercracker's effect. Since a majority of the deck is actions, it is most likely that your entire starting hand is going to be actions. So having a brainstorm in there to let you swing super hard with Thundercracker on a very early turn before your opponent can set up anything is very, very important to do. And Captain Wheeljack definitely helps in that regard. In his bot mode, he's a 4/12/2, and then when you play your third action during your turn, you can draw a card. This definitely works hand in hand with the brainstorm you'll have in your hand. So if you can flip both of them before you play the brainstorm, Captain Wheeljack definitely helps accelerate some stuff in your hand, but mostly just for this form. And then for our third character, we are playing Raider Roadhugger, who is a 5-cost Decepticon car. He's a 3/7/1 with stealth in his alt mode, but we're mainly here focusing on his bot mode, which is a 3/7/1 as well. But he has a tap ability that says scrap a blue card from your hand, which this deck is mostly blue, but it gives +3 attack to one of your characters until the end of turn. Now, that goes super well with Thundercracker. If you have a handheld blaster in your hand, that doesn't exactly help towards Thundercracker's effect, so if you want to get +3 attack onto a Thundercracker swing, just tap Roadhugger and boom, +3 attack, making him a base 8, which is absolutely fantastic. Just between these two and the couple of actions that you get to play during your turn, you can constantly swing for upwards of 12 damage every turn if you're able to pull it off, and it's pretty fantastic. I love doing it. Thundercracker's great. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the battle cards. Alright, so we have a lot of actions to go ahead and go through, but the first one is going to be 3 copies of Brainstorm. Naturally, you're going to have one of them in your starting hand, plus whatever else that you get. 3 Brainstorm is absolutely necessary for a deck where your main focus is playing as many actions as you can during a turn to have Thundercracker swing as hard as you can. So 3 Brainstorm, absolutely necessary. And since this is a blue deck, we are playing 3 copies of Security Checkpoint. You can play it for its effect since you're not running that many upgrades, but I mean, you'd rather play something else for your action for the turn. It's mainly there for the double blues, but again, you can play it. It's not completely out of the question. And then we have 3 copies of Vaporize to help get rid of your opponent's upgrades. It is a very good way, just a universal upgrade destruction, dismissal, that kind of thing. And then, yeah, it's blue pip, so it definitely helps over ramming speed. And we're also playing 2 copies of Steady Shot, which is a black and blue pip card. It gives +2 attack to one of your characters. We are playing this mainly for the black pip, so that if you're ever attacking with Roadhugger, you can actually hopefully get some damage in. But the +2 attack is definitely also really good to play with Thundercracker and Brainstorm. And then we are playing 3 Leap into Battle as well for +3 attack, and the blue pip helps as well. But if you're able to play just any of these during your turn along with a Brainstorm, you get really high attack numbers, and it's really good. To buff Thundercracker even more, we also have 2 copies of Calculated Strike. You can also play these on Roadhugger if you ever have to swing in and swing in with him to get the Pierce 2 to hit someone with. It is a black pip as well, so again, if you're swinging really lightly with either Wheeljack or Roadhugger, the Pierce definitely helps in that regard. But the attack buffs that all of these cards allow definitely can help Thundercracker reach insane levels of attack. So yeah, it's just ridiculous because sometimes you can swing for upwards of like, what, 17? I think in one of my test matches I hit 21 damage. It was insane. It was crazy. I also played one copy of Treasure Hunt. Since we have very, very few upgrades, we are going to play one copy of Treasure Hunt just to see if we can dig for them and grab them, because they definitely are useful for Thundercracker's purpose. It is an orange pit, that's why we're only playing one of those. But yeah, it's very good for grabbing upgrades. And then we're playing one copy of Bigger They Are. Since all of our characters are actually pretty small in their star count, Bigger They Are seem way better to be playing than heavy-handed. We're also playing 3 copies of Pep Talk, draw 2 cards. This is an absolutely necessary card to be playing in a deck like this, because if you play it off a Brainstorm, that just gives you more options to play off your actions, whether it be like things like Leap in a Battle, or Security Checkpoint, or Treasure Hunt, or heck, even the last action that we were playing, which is 3 copies of Leap of Faith. Since we do have 3 more stars left in our total of 25, Leap of Faith seems like an absolutely necessary card for a deck like this, since it can allow you to play ridiculous numbers of actions every turn. So 3 Leap of Faith, absolutely great card. And yeah, that is all of our actions, but we do have one type of secret action that we are running, which is 3 copies of Infiltrate. This is just to help block things like Press the Advantage, or just any kind of orange action that your opponent's playing. You can swap these out for anything in your sideboard if they are running a blue deck and no press. But yeah, it's mostly there to help block Press the Advantage so Thundercracker doesn't die too quickly. Now for our first upgrade, we're playing 2 copies of Energon Axe. This gives +3 attack to a damaged character along with Pierce 2. Put this on Thundercracker, again, he makes him a base 8. It's absolutely insane to help boost his attack even higher with Leap into Battles and stuff like that. But you can definitely play it on anyone you really need. If you need the Pierce 2, that's for that. And if you need the +3 attack to swing for super high numbers, you can definitely play it for that. But only 2 Energon Axes is necessary, because sometimes you'd rather be playing things like Anticipation Engine. When the upgraded character attacks, you can play an action off the top of your deck if it is there. Again, it helps you play actions towards Thundercracker's cause. It's just one more, it's just an extra way for playing an action on your turn if you really, really need to. And then we are playing 3 copies of Handheld Blaster. You can play for the bold since there's a couple of orange in the deck, but mainly there just for the double blues, because defense is very, very important to a deck like this. And we play 1 copy of Enforcement Taunts. It is a orange-green card. Gives you +1 attack and scraps an enemy weapon. This is just in case you need to deal with someone's Battlemaster, like a Lionizer, for example. We are playing 1 here, and I believe 1 more in the sideboard, because if you can get rid of the Lionizer as fast as you can, then you don't really have to worry about it too much if they can't draw into a Quartermaster. So yeah, that's all of the weapons. Let's go and get into our last couple of upgrades, which we are playing 3 copies of Sparring Gear. The 3 oranges are very good. Even if it is a blue deck, 3 oranges makes it a little bit more likely that you will be flipping them on offense. Heck, and even if you do flip on defense, at least you can grab them and then play them on your turn because of the green pip. But the orange pip does help Thundercracker hit even higher levels, but the green pip is mainly the reason why we were playing this over something like Reinforced Plating. And the last couple of upgrades we were playing are 3 copies of Field Communicator. We are really only playing this because we have Wheeljack, who is in fact a specialist in both modes. But we're playing 3 copies of this so we can more consistently draw into it, because again, it is another way for you to get a action off the top of your deck and play it for Thundercracker's effect, which is very good. And our other utility that we are playing, since we are playing 2 cards, is 1 copy of Turbo Booster. If you ever need to untap, say, Roadhugger or Captain Wheeljack just for another swing, Turbo Booster is there for you. It is an orange pip, that's where we're only playing 1. But yeah, that's all of the cards on the deck. Let's go ahead and get into the sideboard. So our sideboard character is swapping out Captain Wheeljack with Bumblebee Trusted Lieutenant. Yes, this is the gold card. I don't know if you can see in the camera. He is a 6/14/1. When this attacks, you can scrap an action from your hand, and if you do, draw 2 cards. This is very, very good for getting rid of actions from your hand that are not very good in a specific situation, say the bigger they are. If you're fighting a combiner deck, in that case you would scrap that to draw 2 more cards, but we're mainly using him for his alt mode skill, which lets you play an extra action during your turn. In the sideboard, we are playing 2 copies of Escape Route to help just generate even more actions. Since you can either play that on Thundercracker if you need to, or Bumblebee to help play more actions. But also playing Bumblebee helps you just deal more damage just in general, since he is a massive guy. As a 10 cost, he is 6'14", that's just such ridiculous stats for a 10 cost. He can swing really hard if you see the need to in your opponent's matchup. If you just gotta swing hard, I guess swap Wheeljack for Bumblebee, and then boom, you replace the car with a car, so Turbo Boosters is still fine to run. But yeah, Escape Route definitely can help there too. But we are playing Dampening Field to replace Infiltrate if you are playing a blue deck, and then we are also playing 3 copies of Hiding Spot, because again, Hiding Spot is such a very good secret action. It helps you swing in for pierce damage, but it also helps protect someone that you don't want to die during a specific turn. And then we are also playing 3 copies of Extra Padding, because I am a generic weirdo who likes playing just 3 copies of stuff because I can't think of anything else in the sideboard. And then we are also playing 1 copy of Enforcement Tons, which is one of the cards I mentioned earlier. It is mainly there to help get rid of your opponent's Battle Masters, but it can also help disrupt your opponent's offensive deck if they are playing Flamethrowers or Null Ray of Starscream, because Starscream seems to be getting big again for some reason. But yeah, if you definitely want to be playing, if you're playing against a really offensive deck, maybe 1 more Enforcement Taunts is probably necessary for that. But yeah, that's the sideboard. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun playing with this deck, just hitting ridiculous numbers with the amount of actions you're playing every turn. And starting with Wheeljack, getting that Brainstorm, it is a great way of just circulating damage over and over again with that Brainstorm. And then Road Hugger, just having an instant leap in a battle whenever you want. And then you can sideboard in Bumblebee if you just need to be swinging super hard. But yeah, I really do love this deck. You should try it out if you're looking for a unique, fun deck experience. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just tell me what you think about the deck in the comments below and what I can change. And also, since I'm going to be super busy, and I won't have a lot of time for brainstorming, I would like for you guys to let me know what kind of decks you would like to see in the future, so I can start working on those now and get recording before school starts up. But yeah, I would love to hear what you guys think and what kind of decks you would like to see in the future. So yeah, let me know that in the comments below, and don't forget to whack that like and subscribe button. And of course, as always, have a phenomenal day. Peace.